Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a story time about the few times I was pew-pewed at, basically. There were drive-by and I was in the mix, you know what I mean? And keep this in mind, y'all, right? I'm from San Diego, born and raised, and I grew up in the hood. As a teenager, hung out with the hood, the homies. I was a member. I'm gonna tell a story about that too, because I feel like people don't get it. But anyways, that's not what this is about. The whole point is I've been in multiple drive-bys and I'm gonna tell them. And keep this in mind, y'all. So I grew up in a certain hood, the hood that I'm from, right? All my life until I was 14. And then my mom moved when I was 15 to the hood right next to ours. But my hood and the hood I moved to, they close. Like, there's no beef. If anything, they team up against the other side, I'ma say, right? So think of it like cousins. These two hoods is cousins. They close. Always been this way, right? So when I moved over there, I used to be hanging out with that hood, right? Anyways, if you understand, you understand. So the first incident, right? Me and my homegirl, I met her once I moved over there. Let's name her right now because she's going to be in other stories. What can we name her? Brianna. Let's name her Brianna. So, one day, me and Brianna was kicking it or whatever. She came to my house. We was smoking, just chilling like we did. We walked up the street or whatever. There was a house that people used to go hang out at, smoke, chill, vibe. None of the people in the house banged, right? They had just been living over there for a while, and they lived right on a corner, right, of a main street. So we was over there chilling, smoking. So when we were leaving, we're going to walk to her house. Y'all, I just be thinking about stuff and I be getting flashbacks and I be having a refocus. So bear with me, y'all. Okay? So we're leaving, right? We get to the corner, right? A car passed by us. It's just me and her too. Keep this in mind. Two girls walking. Two little girls. I probably was 15 and she was 17. We get to the corner, a car, this is broad daylight too, keep that in mind. We're walking right here, a car drives by. It's a main street, so we still walking. But they get to I want to say, a block down. And when I tell y'all, they busted a U-turn so fast. And it's crazy that both of us, right? We looked at each other because the way they made the U-turn, y'all, you could feel it. And it's crazy because I had never been pew-pewed at before this. So it's crazy that we just felt it, y'all. So they bust a U-turn and me and Brianna, like, we looked at each other and turned around, y'all. Turned around and start running so fast. I need y'all to understand how crazy the feeling was, right? I'm getting stressed, y'all, just talking about it. So we running, y'all, running. And I thank God we had not walked further down. Thank God we was just at the corner. Thank you, Jesus. The way God has saved my life so many times, y'all don't know, but I'm gonna be telling y'all. So we are running for our lives and we're not even knowing. Like, truly, the car could have just been making a U-turn, but the way they make the U-turn so fast, it was like we felt it, y'all. So we're running, and this house that we had just came from, I told y'all, none of them are members, but they just live in this hood. You know what I mean? And some members would go over there and smoke with them, but the people who lived there were not affiliated whatsoever. So their house had a gate, right? But a small gate, like you could hop over it. So we take off running. And this is within, just think about, I can't even get it out, y'all. Just think about a car a block down. I just made a U-turn. So this is all within a minute. We turn around, hop over the gate, and run in the house. And as we're running, y'all, before we could reach their door to go back in where we just came from, shots, hella shots, y'all. So we run in and we all dive on the floor. Just on the floor, just scared. Of course, this has never happened to me at this time. And honestly, I don't care how many times it happens. You're scared each and every time. So we all dive on the floor, just laying on the floor, y'all. And they were pew-pewing for a while, right? One of the homies, I forgot, there was one person there that was from that hood that was there smoking with us. So he had a blicky. He had one on him. So he pew-pews back, right? So the car skirts off, leaves, right? So we all still laying on the floor. And their house was not very clean. They didn't have a clean house like that. So I would have never been on their floor in any other situation. But this ain't the time to be thinking about none of that. You feel me? I don't know why I just thought about that now. But like on that dirty floor. So we all just laying on the floor still, shaking in our boots. And just waiting because we don't know if they gonna come back. You don't know if they gonna hop out. You don't know. You know what I mean? So we all just laying on the floor. I want to say like 5 minutes, right? And the car don't come back or whatever. So we start to get up, check on each other. The one person that I said had the blicky that was pew-pewing back. This is funny because we talked about this later. After everything was done, he started freaking out, right? I need some bleach. I need some alcohol. Because he's scared that 12 gonna come, that the police gonna come. And that he's gonna get in trouble. Clearly he don't have a registered thing. You feel me? Nobody has a registered thing. So he is freaked out. He asking them for bleach, for alcohol, for this, for that, because he's thinking the police gonna come. And then he has residue, pew shot residue, you know what I mean, on his hands. So when I tell you this boy was acting a fool, acting like a little girl, woo, I'm stressed. I'm stressed, y'all, thinking about this. So after we trying to calm him down, they get him some alcohol. He washing his hands, hella washing his hands, trying to hide the thing, all that, right? So me and Brianna is spooked, right? Because we was just trying to walk to her house. When I say they turned around at the end of the corner, she lives in the middle. She lives so close, not even at the end of the corner where that car made the U-turn. So now we're scared to leave because 2 girls, y'all, the boys that lived there and the boy that was from that hood, they were in the house. Nobody was standing outside. 2 girls, and they turned around to pew at us. We was spooked. So we stayed there for a while. We just had to smoke again. We was shook. So I want to say we stayed there for at least an hour and a half. But we was scared to leave, y'all. We was scared to go back outside because that was crazy. And we just kept saying there wasn't even no dudes standing outside. Y'all was gone. Just 2 girls walking down the street? That's crazy. So we finally left and we just walked to my house because I didn't live on that main street. We just walked back to my house. And we chilled at my house for the rest of the day. And then she left much, much later. And I walked her to the corner and she went home much later, right? So, y'all, that was the first time I had ever experienced something like that. So, the second time, this is going to be a little longer, right? Because I'm going to put some details in it. So, at this time, I was messing with this one dude who was from that hood that I lived in, right? I probably was 15, y'all. He was 24, maybe 25. Yes. I mentioned it in another story time about the one dude that I was messing with that was 21 when I was 14. I only dealt with older guys since I was 14 years old. I hung out with older girls too, much older than me. You know what I mean? I was very grown, fast grown into grown people stuff, doing crazy stuff. The fact that I am alive to tell these stories is by the grace of God. I want y'all to understand me when I say that. And we'll get into it. Some stuff is sensitive because there's some real deep stuff. So as this process goes on, I know I'll get more comfortable where I'm able to share deeper stuff, but we're not there yet. But just know there's so much. If you can imagine a little girl talking to grown men, you know what I mean? And so anyways, y'all, I'm getting all deep, sorry. So I was messing with this dude. There's hella story times. I need to name this idiot. What can I name him? Loco. Psycho. No, because I need to name this other dude Psycho. No, we gonna name him Psycho. Let's name him Psycho. Even though he was very nice to me. Till I broke up with him, but that's another story. So I'm messing with Psycho or whatever. We vibing. And he had recently got out of jail, right? He was in jail for a long time. When he got out, it used to be a function, y'all. Every single day, there was this park that was, I want to say, 5 blocks away from my house, right? And every day, he would be out there drinking. He didn't smoke. But they whole hood damn near, right? And I'm not from this hood, but I'm from the hood that they cool with, right? So everybody used to be at this park, posted up. And I would be with him, right? And then one of the girls that's from that hood too, she always used to come pick us up every day. She hella cool. She was older. She was in her 20s too. This is what I'm saying, y'all. I hung out with grown people. Even my homegirls. I had a couple homegirls that was around my age, but they was on some fast shit too. Anyway, she used to come pick us up or whatever to go hang out, and we just would function. Like, it was a party every single day. A real function every day. And for a 15-year-old, that's perfect, right? So this day, we go out there, we chilling, what we usually do, right? So it's getting darker. A car drives by, y'all. They just let off. Round and rounds, y'all. So everybody run, duck, hide, all the things you do when you're trying to save yourself. Your instincts kick in, bro. So nobody got hit, y'all. A couple people had pew-pews and they pew-pew back. Nobody got hit, y'all. Nobody. Thank God for that. So that was that time, right? So after that happened, we stopped hanging right there, right? So we moved it. There was an older lady. So everybody used to hang in her yard, which was just down the street from the park. Not even a whole block from the park. So I don't know how this would have made it any better. But I guess you could see better who's coming. So that was that, right? So I need to tell y'all about the time where my friend, my homegirl, got shot, right? So we hanging out again. She picked us up and we just out there vibing, right? And what's so crazy, y'all, right? I'm in the back seat behind her. She's in the driver's seat. And we pulled up to this house where we all hang out, right? We hang out in the front, everybody drinking, smoking, music, vibing every day. Since the incident at the park, we now moved down here, right? Okay. We had just pulled up. I'm in the back seat right behind the driver. And then my other homegirl is in the front seat, right? So we pull up. The homegirl, she's talking to one of the homies. He at the window talking to her or whatever. And then I get out the car because I see my boo. I see Psycho. And there was a swing. It's a bench, a bigger type swing. So I go over there and I'm sitting on the swing or whatever talking to him, and he's standing in front of me. And we just cupcaking, chopping it up or whatever. We was in fake love. Not really. We didn't say I love you to each other, but we was on each other tough or whatever. So we vibing all in our own world, y'all. And listen, y'all, I want to say it's so crazy. I was just sitting in the back seat right behind her. You hear me? I need y'all to hear me. I don't even think it was 5 minutes later. I'm sitting there talking to him. And we start hearing it just start going off, right? And it didn't register to me. I don't know why it didn't register to me. But he hit the ground, right? And then I'm like, oh shit. Then it registered. So everybody starts running. There's a gate. Everybody running to get to the back of this house that we're at. And I just see everybody hopping the gate, right? So I am running. I hopped the gate, and it was hard for me to hop the gate. But they're still, like, when I tell you that I don't know how long they were pewing, but it was a long time. And everybody's stressed. It don't matter. When that happens, I don't care how tough you are. I don't care nothing. Like, the toughest of niggas that was out there. So everybody run, hop over the gate. The damn gate. After I finally got over the gate, people was just walking through. So I could have just walked through instead of struggling to get over the damn gate. But I saw everybody else running, hopping over. So just, you're not thinking, you're just in a panic. So I get over the gate, and then people just walking through at this point, and everybody just posted in the back, shook. You feel me? So we're just staying back there, right? We're just sitting back there for a while, trying to make sure they're gone. They're not coming back, right? So we don't hear nothing for a while. So me, the homegirl that was sitting in the passenger seat, and then one of the homies, we gotta go. Because you don't know if they get out, they could come back here. So we start running. We run back through the gate, and we trying to go to my house, basically. So we start running. We cross the street, and y'all, the car comes back. And there were trash cans in the yard that we was in. So we're hiding behind the trash cans, y'all. And the car is creeping down the street, creeping. Clearly looking around, trying to see if they see anybody. Bro. So we hiding by the trash cans, just hoping they didn't see us. And they didn't see us, clearly, because they kept going. But we're still frozen. Damn, they just drove by, or they gonna drive back by. So we just sitting there, posted up for a while. I don't know. We stayed hiding behind those trash cans for maybe 10 minutes. And then, y'all, we ran, right? And we cut through. There was some apartment that you could cut through and then cross the street. And then my house was on a dead-end street, but you could cut through the cul-de-sac. There was a way to get through that dead end walking. So we make it to my street. So I talked to my boo or whatever. He called me, and my homegirl, y'all, my homegirl that picked us up, who was sitting in the car in the driver's seat, and I was sitting behind her, she got shot, y'all. The only person who got shot was my homegirl. Nobody else got shot. She got shot in her leg. Her car was riddled up, y'all, where I was sitting in the back. Multiple shots in the back, all on that side of the car. But she did get hit in her leg. So we got picked up from my house, and we all went to the hospital. This ghetto hospital is in the hood. Nobody likes that hospital. And we waited in the waiting room. We could not believe she's the only one. Not that we want anyone else to get hit, but the girl. And I was just sitting in that car. I was just sitting right there. But I had went to go talk to my boo. I would have got hit too. You know what I mean? The way stuff be working out, and usually in my favor. Thank you, Jesus. So y'all, those were the times where I could have been shot. That's, you know what I mean? And my mom always used to be like, you need to stop hanging out. You could whoop. This could happen, this could happen, this could happen. But y'all, I was so bad. My mom really didn't have no control over me, unfortunately. I was out of control. I really was. I don't know what was wrong. Now that I'm older, I know I had trauma. And as a kid, you don't really know how to process it. And then if you grow up in certain environments and you're involved in certain stuff, but She was okay though. She got surgery. Her dude was mad. The homegirl messed with the big homie or whatever. And he used to be mad that she used to be out there hanging out with us or whatever. So he was hot, but was all sitting in the waiting room. He walked in with some flowers or whatever, but he was mad that she was out there and got shot. Of course, because he don't want her out there hanging with a bunch of niggas, basically. So, and then after that, because remember, it had happened at the park, then we moved right there. And then the lady, she was like, y'all can hang out in front of my house no more. I got kids. So then we had to move to, we still was hanging out outside. But we moved over to the next block, which ain't much safer. Still all up in this same little area. But where we would hang out was at Psycho's house. He lived with his granny, but there was a brick wall and a gate. So after that, they all used to have they things out, they blickies, like big ones. They was ready after that. They was ready. But still, we shouldn't have, I don't know where else we would have hung out, because it used to be too many of us to hang out inside anybody's house. So those are the 3 times where I got pew-pewed at. And that last time my homegirl got hit. So kids, be safe. Don't be hanging out in hoods. Don't be banging. Don't listen to your mama. Your mama knows. She ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. You feel me? She the one who knows. So listen to your mama. I did not listen to my mama. I didn't listen to her. As you can see, I wouldn't have been out there if I listened to her. But, oh, what was I gonna say, y'all? I was gonna say something. Oh, well, there was another time. Wait, we was downtown. I'm going to tell y'all this because it's just quick. But we was downtown parking in a parking lot because we was about to go to this club or whatever. Y'all, I started going to the club when I was 14 years old. Yes, the first time I went to the club, I was 14. And actually, the first time I went, something very traumatic happened to me, which I do need to tell that story, but much later when I'm more comfortable. But I started going to the club when I was 14. I used to use people ID, a 21 in a club, y'all. I got kicked out one time because I looked like a little girl. I'll tell y'all that story too. But anyways, we was in the parking lot. I can't think if it was after the club. Oh, this was after the club. We had all already came out. We was just hanging out in the parking lot downtown. The parking lot was a couple blocks away from the club. And somebody started letting off or whatever. And I hopped in this car. Y'all, I was not with these people. I hopped in somebody's truck. And it was a bunch of dudes in the truck. And I didn't know them. But it was the homegirl's brother. But either way, if you hopping in somebody's car, but that was just random though. Who knows what was going on down there for them to be doing that. But y'all, I've been through it. But anyways, y'all, I just keep talking. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope y'all learned something. If it's kids, like, this is really why I need to tell my stories, because it's just too much. But y'all, please like, comment, and subscribe, please. But I'll see y'all next time.